Welcome back everybody, and welcome to this next video on Diablo Immortal. Now, on the last video I made, I did a first impressions of the first maybe 2.5 or so hours of the gameplay and my thoughts and reactions throughout it. Now I'm going to have a look at the end game of Diablo now that I have successfully reached level 60 and entered the Paragon system as well, Paragon level 5 as we speak. Now this video I'm not going to be touching on the cash shop. That's going to be a completely separate video. I'll probably do one final video on this game for now, and that will be about the cash shop, a focus on all the new things that have happened since the first impressions video. So this is for people who want to have a look at the end game and just have an idea of all the different systems and how they connect with each other from my experience so far. I got to level 60 yesterday and I played around with a couple of the systems now today, as I have put a couple of hours into this video, or should I say before this video, just so I have an idea of how everything is working. Now what I'll do is I'll just start off with how this works so far. So once you reach level 60 and once you finish the campaign, you'll probably finish the campaign before level 60, probably around level 58 or so or thereabouts, and then you'll have to grind for the last couple of levels. Now in my experience, you will definitely have to grind a good bit of the way through after level 40 or so, and it will progressively get slower and slower as you get your way slowly to level 60. Now the fastest way that I have found to get to level 60 is pretty much just focus on your daily activities, which are all here. As you can see, there's even more since last time, and that's simply doing the battle pass, because when you level up your battle pass you get a huge amount of experience on your ranking. So if you have the battle pass, which everyone will, whether you purchased the second layer of it, the empowered battle pass, or not, it's completely up to you. Now, in saying that, while you are doing all your different activities, you will get experience from those activities while doing them. You're going to get materials, etc. as well. So on top of that, you'll be able to do quests, which will open up every so often, and you're going to be getting more experience as well by doing the guide here. So the more of all of these things that you do, the better. You're going to be grinding anyway, so you might as well be grinding and just putting the levels into the battle pass. Now, I decided that all I'm going to do for this game is I'm going to purchase the empowered battle pass, just so I have access to a couple of extra little things. Now this is the only money I'm going putting into this game. Literally, I think it was what, €5, and that's the only purchase I'm going to put into this game, and that was just to help with the level up experience and get a couple of little nice things such as a few free legendary gems and stuff like that. But other than that, you realistically do not need this battle pass. But I wanted to get there a little bit faster, maybe, to just get this video done and also be able to talk about the end game more effectively. So we have a lot more dungeons now at our disposal, and we can do these dungeons as much as we realistically want. They're spread throughout the world, from anywhere from the Shashar Sea to the Bilefen to Wortham and your Darkwood area, and then up to the Frozen Tundra and the mountain as well. Now your end game area, the final end game area, is going to be the Realm of Damnation, which is where you're going to finally take on the big battle against Skarm himself. There's going to be one final dungeon before you set off to attack Skarm, and Skarm will be the end of the campaign. No spoilers on what happens after that potential part, or what, you know, but there is a lot more to the game. If anything, the game is starting now. So once you ding level 60, once you reach it, you're going to unlock the Paragon system. Now the Paragon system, as far as I know, there's about 600 plus levels of Paragon. Now just like Diablo 3, once you reached maximum level, you started to gain Paragon, which is pretty much just adding on extra stats once you got to level 60, just so the experience wasn't wasted and it was constantly building you towards something else. Pretty much the exact same applies here, and more unlocks as time goes on. So you have, for example, the Vanquisher, Survivor, and then you go all the way up and more unlocks as time goes on. Now every level of Paragon that you gain after you reach level 60 can go towards putting points into this little talent tree here, and you can pretty much decide how you want to do this yourself, but it's going to give you extra stats and change a little bit of the gameplay for yourself while you do that. And it's once again, it's up to you on where you want to put your points. So one thing I probably should be doing is focusing a bit more on the Survivor area. I am having troubles in surviving the harder content of the game. Now on with this as well, we have the challenge rifts. Now I did touch on challenge rifts at the end of the first impressions video, and pretty much once you get to about level 12, I think level 12 was when it started to get quite difficult, in terms that you needed to be in the high 50s or 60 or thereabouts, because the monsters were starting to get a sign over their head being like, these are too high level for you. I think I beat level 12 at about level 57 or so, and I got to 60 around level 13 or level 14 or thereabouts. So you will be able to comfortably get to about level 12 or so just before reaching 60, and you're going to get those extra points at the same time. Now Elder Rifts, once again, you can do these once a day. Well, not once a day, but as long as you have an Elder Crest, you can continue to do these. Now one important thing that you need to realize as well is that there is a weekly limit on how many times you can get these fading embers. So this is capped, which can be pretty annoying. However, you may be able to get a couple of extra ones as well due to parties and things like that. So as a free-to-play player, I'm not going to get any. Realistically, I'm not going getting any legendary quests on crests to unlock the legendary gems guaranteed and stuff, which is disappointing, but it is what it is. Or I'll get them extremely rarely, like once a week or something like that, by other means, which I'll go through very shortly. Now the bounties are still the same. You can do up to 8 bounties a day. If you miss your day of bounties, they will carry over into the next day, and you can do more the next day. Now a brand new system which came out right up into the high 50s, I believe, was this Sanctum area here. Now this Sanctum area, you can do once a day, and you have to use your aspirant keys to unlock treasure chests at the end of this little run. Now at the end of this run, you will be able to, well, provided that you've done the simple little run, you'll go into this treasure chamber, and there'll be multiple treasure chests to unlock at the end of each room. Now if you unlock all the treasure chests using your keys, you'll unlock the next room, which will have even more treasure chests. Oh, and we also have a couple of enemies. I'm just going to quickly kill them off, nice and easy. And they'll, oh, I actually had enough keys to unlock this one as well. So each time you unlock another chest, they progressively get harder to unlock. So this requires 12, and if I unlock, I can use this. Let's just unlock the 12 of them, just so I can get a lot of extra items. And now if I want to do this, it's going to cost 14 keys. Now keys are quite rare to get. You'll get a couple free a day pretty much by just doing this normal run, and you'll get a couple free by doing some other things such as shadow events. Now I'll talk about the shadows very soon. Now if you don't have enough keys, you can actually spend platinum, which you'll get a little bit of platinum free every single day if you so wish. Now opening up these chests will give you materials for this next section that I'm going to talk about next. Now this entire section, these vessels, they simply just grant bonuses, as you can see above me right now. These will give your character permanent bonuses, and you can constantly and slowly level up these bonuses. Now to unlock these vessels, you have to do multiple different tasks in the game. Now I have unlocked nearly all of them. I have just 3 more to do, but it will tell you exactly what you have to do to unlock them as well. So this one is to defeat the sand golem in Hell 1. This one is just to keep opening up chests in that area that I was just talking about, and it's pretty much just a random chance, I believe, of getting it. Or maybe it's after a certain amount of chests, I'm not quite sure. And then the Hydra as well. Now the Hydra and the Sandstone Golem should be very simple to get for me in Hell 1. Basically, it's just waiting for them to spawn in my zone during my phase. Now I just missed out on the golem there before this video. My game crashed. PC is still quite iffy when it comes to stability, and it has so many bugs, but that's why it's in open beta right now. So what I can do with those materials, for example, that I just gathered, the more I want to upgrade each of these vessels, it will cost me more and more of those materials that you saw coming out of that chest. So what I can do, just to show you, I'm going to upgrade this vessel now for 50 of these gems, and it's going to go from 240 life up to 320 life, permanent increase of 80. Okay, so now if I want to increase this, it will cost me an extra 20, and each of the different gems will cost a different one of those 3 currencies, which you might or might not have. So if you just want to like get some nice easy quick stat boosts the moment you get one of these gems, just keep a couple of just keep maybe 30 or so of each of these ready, so you can get up a level or 2 the moment you unlock one of these gems. Now once you find a gem by completing one of those prerequisites, then just simply come back to the shrine and insert it into this system, and you will get those permanent stat increases. So this system relies on you not only doing that run every day, but also requires you to do this next gigantic important part of the game, and that's going to be in the shadows. Now pretty much how the lore is that there's the shadows and the immortals, and it's a cycle that it has to repeat every single week, that if the immortals, which are a guild at the top, if they cannot complete their duty, or if they're not worthy enough to stay as the immortal defenders of Sanctuary, then we are to bring them down, and more or less that's kind of what it is. So to get into the shadows, you have to first win the shadow lottery. Now to win the shadow lottery, what you must do is you need to go back into West March, and you need to go to this bar right here. Okay, it's not, see, sometimes when you click on teleport on PC, he just runs there instead of actually doing teleport, which is quite annoying. But I'll just talk about this system while I'm doing that anyway. So let's see if it actually works this time. There we go. So we have to go to this bar. Now, multiple times every day. I can't remember the exact hours. I'm sure I'll bring that up in just a moment, actually. I'll find those hours. A shadow lottery will take place, and the first 1,000 participants to enter this shadow lottery will then be entered into a lottery, and a number of those participants will receive pretty much a welcome letter, and that will then allow you to enter the Court of Whispers. Now once enough people in your guild, and you have to be in a guild or a clan should I say, once enough people in your guild have this, you will then be able to convert your guild into a shadow guild or into a dark clan. Okay, now the dark clan, you need everybody to be at least level 43 to do now. And once you do convert it, oh, we actually did the focus for the week, so nice and easy focus. Maybe I actually set this focus myself as one of the officers in this guild. You get hilts every time that you level this up for the whole guild, so it's great. So when you become a dark clan, you'll be able to get lots of different extra little benefits for your gameplay, and each of these will unlock at different clan ranks, as you can see behind me. Now these clan ranks will level up while your guild does different activities, or your clan does different activities. Now you will have a weekly shadow war, which pretty much all the dark clans have to, the top will all battle up against, and the top 10 will then go head to head. That you see all these brackets here, so there's this huge system, and someone will be worthy enough to take on the immortals at the end. I believe that's how it works. It hasn't happened yet. But I believe this Sunday, I believe, is when it happens. So the Shadow Lottery is available between 12, 6 and 9 p.m. So if you log in to the game at those hours and be one of the first 1,000 participants, you might get a chance to actually win entry into this area, and then eventually you get to convert your into the dark clan. Now once you're in this area as well, you're going to be able to access the Path of Blood. Once it's unlocked, once you are in a shadow clan, okay, or a dark clan, or you'll be able to access the Path of Blood. Now the Path of Blood is a very simple little floor game that takes maybe 30 seconds or so per floor, if even that, for nearly all of them to complete. And they progressively get harder and harder and more demanding. Now inside these floors, you will not be able to heal yourself, okay? And when you complete one of these challenges, you'll get 200 marks. Now, marks increase the rank within the shadows, okay? Now, your rank will allow you then to have extra percentages in damage and defense, which, as you can imagine, permanent damage increases and defense increases in a game are vital. Now there's so many of these ranks. It's I believe it goes up to quite a high number as well. 32% damage and defense increase once you reach max rank. Now this will take obviously a long time to get, but you progressively get stronger and stronger as you work your way up. You'll be able to get between initiate 1 to 4 probably within like 2 hours or so. It's very quick, and then after that you'll get a little bit every time. Now once you reach initiate level 2, you'll unlock contracts, and then at rank 3 you'll be able to raid the Dark Vault and have some extra stuff included on top of that. Now to increase your rank, you can do these challenge quests over here. You'll also have daily quests, but I've completed them already, and you'll be able to put all this into your rank, and then you'll get a reward at the end of each of that. Just simple hilts, nothing too special. But the big increase, obviously the biggest reward here, is your extra 1% damage and defense boost. Okay, so every day just do a couple of these activities and you will get a lot of extra marks to allow you to level up. So along with that, you'll be able to raid the vault. Now the vault only becomes active at certain times of the day. I think it's 3 times a day, and that's going to be a group of 4 people who can band together to raid the immortals vaults, and you have to pretty much survive until the end, or as much as or as far as possible. And you can open up treasure chests, and those treasure chests, for example, is actually one of the focuses that we want wanted to get done today. So 80 chests were done simply just today alone. But you have plenty of time. You have like a week to be able to do this. Or you can have the focus to be on contracts. And I think it's like 320 contracts to do. I just thought the chests would be probably the easier one, and yeah, evidently I was right. But this Raid the Vault, it's quite fun to do. So it's another nice activity that you can do on a daily basis with your guild. You'll also get access to Battlegrounds as well. Now, Battlegrounds will become available even if you're not yet in the shadows, I believe. So I could be wrong with that, but I believe I had access to the Battlegrounds before I was in the Dark Clan. I actually used Battlegrounds to get me a bit of experience. Now, you can do 3 Battlegrounds a day to get some extra bonus, bonuses down here, for example. And the Battleground is quite can be quite fun. However, that's where the pay to win aspect of the game will be very much evident, because the people who pay, the whales that pay a lot of money, will kick your ass so fast. However, skill is always going to be probably, it should be the final determination on if you are to win or not. Now, if you participate in 3 battles per day, you're going to get some extra rewards here. The experience is what I was looking at the most.
Let light be restored.
And I actually had one complete, so I just had to click on this, and I just gained a Paragon level at the same time. So you're going to get experience, you're going to get some gold, you can get a piece of equipment and some scrap materials. Now, if you rank up by getting a lot of wins, pretty much, you will be able, and it's a pretty big enough ranking system. It goes always up to legend, the top couple of people, all the way down to where I am at a measly bronze. It's a seasonal thing. You'll also get some additional reforged stones and things like that as you work your way up, and some aspirant stones, which once again were to open those chests for the vessels. And then you can get glowing shards, which is a material to upgrade your equipment after level 5. So equipment is another feature that I didn't get to look at too much while I was leveling. I believe I may have stopped at like level 3, but you can actually get, once you get to level 5, you're going to be able to unlock an additional little you're going to be able to unlock an additional piece to the system, which is quite interesting. Something which unlocks another system on top of that as well, which you can use reforging to help out. Now, once you get it, I'm going to bring myself to the blacksmith as quick as possible here. So once you get yourself to a rank 5 of an item, then you're going to get an additional, I think it's rank 5
It's good
of
to
an
see
item.
you.
Let me double check this. It's not rank 4, and then I got them at rank 6. Okay, and these are capped as well, by the way. You're going to get a random extra attribute. Now, some of these attributes might just be useful or not, but if you don't like these, you can reforge. You can reforge it. And there's also additional bonuses here. It gets quite complicated. The game is there's a lot more depth than I actually realized while I was, I didn't think there was going to be this much depth at the end game, but the goddamn is. To min-max, there's a lot of depth. But you can reforge. You're going to need some sort of stone to and it can be either from a family stone to gain a specific attribute, well, from a list, or you can just use a reforged stone. So I think it's actually once you get to level 6, yes, once you get to level 6, you're going to get that extra ability, because I just checked there, level 5 is just pretty much, it's just a normal 2 to your stats here. So you can get these. Now you're going to have to start using these glowing shards, which is, once again, as you can see, the systems loop in on each other a little bit. So now the thing is that these are capped as well. So to get it up to another rank, you're going to have to get to Paragon level 20. So Blizzard is stopping you from, advancing too quickly, outpacing people maybe of a similar level, etc. So they do try and slow you down. And I'd imagine after this it would be probably Paragon level 50, and then up and up and up. I believe rank 10 is the highest, so that will probably require like Paragon level 200 or 300 or something crazy like that. Now, once again, just to go into the Paragon system, I have a point, and I can now spend this point, and I'm going to get a brand new thing called Zeal if I want to spend it on this. And for each monster you defeat, your attack speed increases by 0.5% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. So 5% increase for 6 seconds, if I so wish. So if I click on this, then that's going to be permanently added to my character. So it's a nice little bonus that the experience that I'm getting is not going to go to waste. Now, once you are in the Dark Clan, you're going to go through a planning stage, a gathering stage, the showdown stage, and then the reckoning stage as well. Now, this is just going to happen over the course of the week. All the shadow clans, or dark clans, or whatever the goddamn called, all of these shadows, this is going to take a whole server pretty much of activity to get done for you, to get yourselves up to 79,000. Now, I do believe there's also a hard cap on this of about 10 or so thousand per day, and the number that we see here is not accurate, that there was 69,000 delivered. I think it's a percentage of the overall amount, and that's added in here. Now, once it is completed, you get a lot more hills here, which you can spend. I'll talk about those shortly. And then it will move on to the next stage. And as you can see here, we'll be able to get 10% damage done, minus 10% damage taken in the Rite of Exile, and challenge the Immortals. So it's just stage by stage, and then once it resolves, we can finally get up to the Immortals. So it's just stage by stage, but we have not got here yet. We'll be probably here tomorrow. We'll be starting on this tomorrow or the next day. So I'll have to check exactly all that out. And you'll also get access to Assembly. Assembly is pretty much, it's a very weird one. I guess you can do it every single day. It's between 6 to 8 p.m. and it's all about people just gathering together and being able to bless each other. It takes about 10 minutes to complete this event, and it's just pretty much just standing around and asking people to bless you. You're going to get some random blessings, and you have to pretty much trade your blessings to other players. Now, you can also ask other players, you can request other players to bless you. They can only give a certain amount of blessings. I think it's like 4 that you can give out. And every 2 or so minutes, these blessings change, and just 4 blessings in total. So it's pretty much just a little bit of a group-wide effort, and you try and get all 4 of those blessings. Each time that you get a blessing, you're going to get some extra keys, you're going to get some extra gold, and you're going to get a lot of experience as well, which really helps for the Paragon system. So literally, if you have 0 time to really play this game, but you'd like to get a bit of experience, if you just log in for this assembly between 6 to 8 p.m., you're going to get about 1 million plus experience just by doing this alone, which is quite, it's a sizable amount of experience. Now, this Rite of Exile is only available on Sunday at 8 p.m, so we haven't been able to get there yet. Shadow War is going to begin tomorrow, as of the making of this video, between 6 to 9. Now we're going to talk about contracts. So contracts is another important part to this system. Now, I did talk to you that you can set your clan focus, your own personal clan focus, to either focus on opening up chests by raiding the vault, or by completing contracts. Now, contracts are pretty much just another side little activity for you to do on a daily basis if you so wish. Now, you can do 3 of these a day. You're going to get rewards for doing them, but they're like little story missions, which you can either do a dungeon version or you can do a solo version of them. And once again, you're going to get multiple different materials and experience, etc. from them, and they probably take around 5 to 10 minutes to do each one. So you can do these each day, so it's another activity. Now once again, we are already talking, but there's so many activities you can do on a day-to-day here. There's world bosses as well. Remember I was talking about a sand golem and a hydra and all that? They spawn in Hell 1, and these are world bosses, and I believe you can loot these daily as well. So you can get extra rewards and stuff like that from them. And also, of course, you're going to get access if it's the first time you kill them. Each world boss, more or less, is tied to one of those vessels. Now, you have a huge list of activities that you can do for your battle pass per day, including the weekly Heliquary, which I'll talk about now as well. You'll get access to side quests, which you can do multiple of those per day. I think it's 5 maybe maximum or so. I could be wrong on that. And and there's so much more stuff that it just keeps building on each other. So there is a lot to really do. Funnily enough, I was just about to talk about the Heliquary, and then someone invites me to a group. But I've already done it this week, so it's kind of pointless for me to do it now. So the Heliquary is an 8-man raid, and there's multiple bosses. There's only one boss open at the moment. I don't know, is this unlocked by different means, or do you just have to get to a certain combat rating? Combat rating is more like your gear score. It pretty much is the determination of how powerful your character is based on your stats and your equipment and all that stuff, from what I believe. So I've already completed this week, and you can also get extra if you do it in a warband, which is something I should realistically do. But you're going to have a weekly boss here. He's actually quite tough as well, and you have to learn the mechanics. And if you're doing this in a random raid with public people, it might take a couple of attempts to actually kill him. Now you only need 420 combat rating to go inside, but realistically, if you don't want to die in a few hits, you'd want a little bit more. And it's a weekly lockout as well, so if you want these rewards, you can only do it once a week. Now you could realistically do it again and again if you want, but to get these extra rewards, you'd only want to do it once a week. Now he has 3 different levels. The next level up is 1250 combat rating, which I'm nowhere near yet, so I can imagine he's quite a beefy boy. And then whatever level 3 is, we're going to have to find out, but you'll get extra a little bit extra rewards if you do it this way. Now, there's obviously, as you can see, there's more monsters, demons to unlock. I'm not sure how these unlock. Maybe it's over time, or you have to get to a certain status in the game. You have to complete something. Now, each time you kill a new demon, you're going to be able to get access to one of their seals. Now the seal that I got so far is by killing that first boss there, and this just pretty much adds some extra combat rating, and then in the challenge rift it gives me an extra 10% attack speed. Now as you level up your Heliquary, which you more or less will level up by one of the main ways of leveling this up is actually by doing the raid on a weekly lockout, or there's some other methods such as the battle pass will give you some extra materials and things like that, and it will cost more and more materials as you want to level them up. And typically it just increases your combat rating, and it will eventually start unlocking more of these slots where you can put in more of these monsters. But once again, I only have one monster anyway, so although I have a new slot, I have nothing that I can put into it yet. So these extra bonuses, I have no access to either way. But it's a weekly raid that you can do if you can do it multiple times if you so wish. Now the warband system is pretty much that is I was in one warband and we actually got to the camp level, but now I joined my clan, one of the clan warbands, and we're pretty much progressing up this. So I can't talk too much about this system, but it is a pretty in-depth system as well, that eventually in your warband, if you constantly play with these people, you're going to get extra bonuses, for example from the raid encounter there, and also you're going to be able to assign people to different roles, and they'll have extra increases, like you might take less damage, or monsters will be forced to attack you, or you can heal people with different methods and stuff. So it's quite an involved system. I'm shocked at how in-depth this is for a mobile game, realistically. On top of that as well, you can still have access to the bestiary, which you can do 3 times a day. You're going to get lots of battle points for that. Just collect the monster essences while you're doing everything else. You're going to have your bounties to do, you'll have your dungeons to do, you'll have your battlegrounds, you'll have all the shadow activities to do. You know, there's so much stuff going on. Any world bosses, any side quests, any event quests. But realistically, if you just want to do the bare minimum, just focus on a couple of the activities here in the Battle Pass and you can't go wrong. On, you know, your Elder Rift, get your at least 1 Elder Rift done every day. If you can get to a Challenge Rift done, that's awesome. And just slowly but surely add more and more combat rating onto your character by getting extra gear, legendary gear, and things like that. Now, you may have heard of me talking a little bit about Hell 1 and such like that in the game. Now, once you get to level 60, I probably should have started off about this, to be honest, or just maybe after the Paragon system. So once you get to level 6, before you get to level 60, you're going to be in the normal mode of the game, okay? After that, you're going to be able to level up into Hell 1, Hell 2, Hell 3, Hell 4, and then finally Hell 5. Now, to get into each of these difficulty modes, you're going to have to reach a minimum of a certain Paragon. Now, Hell 1 activates the moment you get pretty much to level 60. So you can convert your game into a harder version of that game. So, and on top of that as well, all the dungeons and things, there's going to be world bosses as well, and different events that will not happen in normal mode. So even more stuff unlocks. So if you thought you knew the game and saw everything during the main campaign playthrough of the game, there's going to be much more waiting for you in Hell 1. Now, I believe it's going to be the same in Hell 2 and onwards as well. However, this is all gated behind needing a certain Paragon. And as you can see, Hell 5 goes up to Paragon 600. So there is a lot of gameplay here. Now, once you're in Hell 1, the dungeons will begin to drop set items as well. So set items, I actually have 2 different set items that I got so far. I'll just move slightly here. But set items work just like any other Diablo game, is that when you get 2, 4, and 6 of the same set item, okay, so if I got 6 slots over here or whichever, in combination, I'm going to get access to all these different increases onto my character. Now, every different set will look different, so it's not only a cosmetic it's not just a cosmetic difference, but there's also going to be, you know, a damage boost and or whatever the case may be, depending on the set. So these once again will drop once you reach Hell 1. And there will be more differences as well as time goes on with Hell 2, Hell 3, Hell 4, Hell 5, but once again, that's way out of the scope of what I can explain right now. I'm far, far, far away from that. So pretty much, that's all the systems that are currently in the game at the moment. So there is a lot to do once you reach level 60. The game, if anything, just opens up more and the real game kind of begins. So to find out what Paragon level someone is, you're going to see a little number next to, well, for you, you're going to see a little number next to yourself. However, on other people, when you see their player slots here in the party, if I just went to Party Finder, if I just look at these people here now, for example, this means he's level 60, but he's Paragon level 12. So if you don't have any Paragon yet, you're just going to be up to from anywhere between level 1 and level 60. So if you have a little bit of a blue underneath your name, that means you have reached level 60 already, and now you're starting to progress. So if you have a high Paragon levels so early, you would have put in some ungodly hours into this game, far, far, far more than I have. And I'm playing, you know, I'm playing a bit more just so I can talk about this on a video on the next and on
Your
the next video about the cash
precedes
shop.
you, friend.
So there's two more things I do want to talk about though before I finish up this video. The first one here is the hilt trader. Now you're going to be getting these hilts from lots of different activities. Now one of the things that you may have found that you're going to be getting lots of hilts and you're like, what the hell are hilts even used for? You would have been getting a lot of hilts by completing these conquest and these achievements as well, these exploration achievements as well throughout your time in Sanctuary, which, by the way, this is another thing you can do at max level as well. You can unlock more of this as time goes on, because there'll be different features in Hell 1, such as those bosses and things like that. So, so when you get all these little extra levels done, I don't know why this says only difficulty 1. I killed him. I'm not sure why, but once you unlock more of this, you'd be getting little bits of hilts all the time, and then now with the shadows and all that, you're going to be, your rewards is lots of hilts. So just in case you're going to be like, how the heck am I going to get more hilts once I reach 60 if I don't have all these little things to do? It's like, don't worry, there's more things that you can do. Now I have a lot of hilts at the moment, but one way to get a legendary quest, you can get one. I actually said this earlier. I said a weekly legendary quest. I was very wrong with that. It was a weekly legendary item I got mixed up with, which I already purchased. But you get a monthly legendary quest. So this game allows you to buy once a month a legendary quest. So it really goes to show. And once again, I'm not talking about the cash shop on this video, but I'm trying to restrain myself here, and that's why you see me just smiling and then just there being like, I have so much to say. I have so much to say, but you can just calm yourself down, Jay. Calm yourself down. But you can buy lots of additional items here just by trading in your hills. So if I want an extra, let's say 2 more normal crests, I can just spend 600 there now, and I just got an extra 2. So if you just want a little bit more of each different thing, there you go. Oh yes, charms as well. Charms unlock at level 54, I believe. Now, I have charms. I almost forgot about these. These are a very weird and annoying system, but these pretty much just add like little extra percentages onto of damage onto different abilities and such, and then you can reforge them and you can add them all together and try and make something cool, but it's very complicated, and all of this stuff here is random. You get lots of random stuff that you can't even use for your character. It's just a convoluted mess, and I don't understand it enough to realistically talk about it. The last thing I'm going to talk about now, and that's a lot of systems already. This is going on even further, more than I thought this video, but there's so much depth actually, and you could stay on for, like, they are making sure you stay on for hours a day if you're addicted enough to this game. There's enough for you to do, and you know, there's plenty of things to catch up on if you're not. This is the last thing I want to talk about. Now, once you get to level 60, you actually can get an experience boost. Now, as you can see here, I'm getting an extra 150% experience, which of course I'm very happy about, because I'm playing the game enough, but just not enough to where, let's say, the top people are at the moment. Now, I believe this Paragon level increases every day by a little bit, maybe a level or 2. So as long as I stay under the server Paragon level, I'm going to have some sort of experience boost in rewards. Now, this boost will, as far as I know, it's more the further you are away from the of the server. Okay, so if I stay at, you know, a few levels under it, I'm going to be getting a good amount of extra experience. So less time on the game actually can be beneficial, at least if I want to level up the Paragon system without grinding. So this is another capped or gated experience. Now, if I was the Paragon level, I get no extra boost from what I know, and if you're above the Paragon level, yeah, if anything, I think if you actually go above the server Paragon level, you actually get a negative effect, that you actually get less experience than normal. So there you go. So as long as I stay under the server Paragon, which I believe increases every day by 1 or 2 Paragon levels, I'll be good. Even if I only leveled up 1 Paragon level a day, provided I continue to play this into the long term, I'd be quite happy with that. So we'll leave it at that. There's so much in the game. There's like 600 plus levels of Paragon, lots of different difficulty modes as well, and there we go. I'm going to be making another video in the not too distant future talking about the cash shop in the game, and that's going to be probably the final video I'm going to make for a while on Diablo Immortal, unless something else comes up, a revelation or something I completely forgot about and I want to make an amendment to that. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed an in-depth look at all the different systems. I might have missed out on something, I don't believe I did, but there's so much stuff there, anywhere from the battle pass to all of those daily activities that you can do, onto the shadows side of things, the Heliquary once a week if you want to, side quests, event quests, world bosses, different events spawning in the world, your war band, all these different systems, the vessels, the charms, there's so much. And then on top of that you have your legendaries. You have to, you know, increase your equipment levels and then boost your combat rating effectiveness so you can unlock different things, and Paragon level gating and caps, hidden caps. Now there's lots of hidden caps in the game, some of those which I've already mentioned, and there's lots more. I think, like, from what I know is that once you've reached the hidden cap of a certain thing, activity, it's going to be a lot harder for you to gain more currency, and the game doesn't even tell you about this stuff. It's like hidden to prevent like over farming. So for example, if you were to, it's very good to party with people in this game, especially if it's in your war band. It's even more beneficial. But you can go and farm and kill things off a lot faster, complete quests faster. Now if you have 4 people in a party, even in your dungeons, you're going to get a chance to drop gems, which you can then use to level up the ranks of your gems in your ordinary non-legendary gear. So for example, it would be this side over here, all these little extra gems. You know, it's another big system going on there, but you'll be able to get gems and by partying up with people. So I believe after a set amount of gem drops, I think it's like 5 or so, after that it becomes extremely difficult to get gems. If anything, they're increased until you reach this soft cap or hidden cap or whatever, and that happens with lots of different features throughout the game. So realistically, overplaying the game isn't much of a benefit. So play it until you kind of do, you know, if you have the time on a daily basis, like play it until you complete the activities that you want to, and just end it at that. Anything else after that, realistically, you're getting, you know, it's not as productive as you would. I believe in Diablo 3 they had a system like that with legendaries, that after a certain amount of legendaries it became harder to actually start finding them. I know that chopped and changed that system a few times. Like your first legendary or so was you know, fast to get, and then it got increasingly difficult as time goes on, but that type of stuff. So there's hidden caps in the game, so just be a bit careful of that as well. It's a bit disappointing that they're hidden, and no one, you know, unless you've really studied the game, you don't know about this. The only way I knew about some of these caps was actually from research. Other than that, some of them, you know, there's some obvious ones such as the fading embers and stuff that they literally will tell you. The Paragon level system, for example, that's gated. Your equipment, that's gated, like you need to be Paragon level 20 to rank up another rank. Things like that. So there's lots of little gating to prevent people getting too powerful too soon. Although whales, once again, try not to touch on the cash shop, although whales will be very, very powerful either way. So it's still, for a whale, they will still be a lot more powerful than any of us mere mortals who do not want to pay any more money in this game. Once again, I spent €5. The game deserves something for the entertainment it has given me. This is a very good game, a very in-depth game. What drags it down to the depths of hell and whatever goes even further than that, to the lowest layers you can imagine, that is the cash shop. And that's what my next Diablo Immortal video will be touching on, and that's going to be a grilling one. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching me today, and I hope, if I do not see you, to have a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My Diablo slaying unicorns, take care.